Okay, today we're going to keep reading in Act 1, Scene 3.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I thought I did that one to plug that in.
Maybe you want to open it?
Yes, you're right.
So, let's have Shelby Esmond, Macbeth.
Is Macbeth a man?
Oh, she's got big feet to fill. You know, in the
Kayla. Kayla, Angus, Eric, Banquo. Angus, like the cattle brand.
It's a good time.
That's not really a brand. It's what do you call it? Species. Breed. There you go.
And we started at 3.
Bottom,
Yeah.
page 21.
Bottom of 21.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, what was happening where we left off?
Bad thing.
Oh, the witches told Macbeth that he would be
And
the
then they met.
Thane of Gladys, Cawdor, and eventually the king. And then
Okay.
they told him that he would be
The witches appear on the heath, and they meet Banquo and Macbeth, who are headed home from where?
The battlefield.
The battlefield. And they tell Macbeth that he will be Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and eventually the king. And what do they tell Banquo?
that
Kings will come from you.
Okay? The last one is
he'll be better.
you will get kings, but you won't be a king.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be
Better than you are.
lesser
Lesser, but better
than Macbeth, yet greater.
than you are.
Not so,
Huh.
I'm not.
Sorry. Hey, we could leave
not so
Heavy.
happy, but
So, what do you think Macbeth?
much happier.
Then
Yeah,
now.
he
He
was.
is now.
And you will
Ever
get kings, though you will be none.
I'm so confused.
So each guy, Macbeth and Banquo, both get 3 prophecies. Okay, then Macbeth and Banquo discuss how Macbeth's prophecies are very
Possible.
realistic or unrealistic?
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic. He believes that the Thane of Cawdor
Will not die because he has good.
is a good man who still lives, and to be the king,
He
He
gone.
did.
very unlikely. And then moments later, Ross and Angus show up and tell Macbeth what?
That he's the Thane of Cawdor.
Hey, good news, buddy. You're the Thane of Cawdor.
What a boss.
And Banquo and Macbeth are both
Dismayed.
dismayed, shocked. Okay, Macbeth, Banquo, and Angus,
Get up
come
there.
on down.
To the price.
Angus the devil.
Who's Ross?
Well, he doesn't have any lines. We're at the very bottom. Macbeth says, the Thane of Cawdor lives.
Banquo.
Wait, what page are we on?
21.
Well, let's look at it.
21.
Hey, we don't want that.
What
on
page
the-
is
That's
21.
31.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Angus.
Bottom.
I'm Banquo.
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose, whether he was combined. Oh, with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help advantage, or that when both he labored in his country's wrack, I know not, but treason's capital confessed and proved hath overthrown him.
Okay, so what does Angus announce?
He's gonna get overthrown.
Cawdor was.
Overkilled.
Why?
Because Norway killed him.
In the battle.
No.
Country's wrecked. I've overthrown him.
Treason.
Oh,
He
yeah.
committed treason, remember?
Uh-huh.
He was helping
The Scotch.
the King of Norway.
You always get mixed up.
And
That's Glamis. That's a place.
so he has been executed. Or is in the process. Now, it says, Macbeth, aside. That means he like turns over here and he's talking. Not really, just kind of like talking this way. Okay? It's so the audience can see or hear what a character is thinking. Because in a play, that's the only way. Okay? Okay. 3-line rhyme. Okay, so then he says that, and then it says to Ross and Angus, he turns back. And then it says to Banquo, so only those two can hear it. Make sense? So an aside.
So they're having a conversation.
So an aside means only the audience hears what they say. Then he turns back and he talks to everybody. Then him and Banquo have a little side conversation that no one else can hear but the two of them. Okay, go.
Okay.
Glamis.
Glamis and Thane of Condor, the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Condor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home I yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor, but 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, that instrument of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles to betrays in deepest consequence.
Okay, the dash means he's done with the aside. Now he turns back and speaks to Ross and Angus.
Cousin, a word I pray.
Okay, cousins is a term of endearment. It's like saying buddies, old pals, old friends of mine. Okay, now, what does Macbeth say to Banquo?
Do you hope your children shall be kings?
Yeah, don't you want
Your
your children to be kings when what they prophesied to me literally came true in how much time?
Like a second.
Like a second. And what is Banquo's warning?
Wait, he did well. Those that gave promise no less than them.
Oh. Is it
Instrument
that?
of darkness tells us truth.
Yeah, they like.
Okay. 'Tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness, referencing who? The witches, tell us truths, win us with honest trifles. Anybody know what a trifle is? Not a layered dessert.
It's a truffle.
No, a trifle is a layered dessert. Those big glass bowls, like Jello, Cool Whip, Angel Food Cake. It's delicious.
If you like angel food cake.
Yes, I do, but I never get it, so don't even talk about it.
I had angel food cake at
Hey, we can
Thanksgiving.
make one.
Not in the terms of the dessert. What else does trifle mean?
Not very big.
Okay, not of much importance. Something small. So, with honest trifles, like they give us these little small insignificant bits of information, it's like a bribe. Like holding candy for a kid. Like having a little boy aim at the Cheerios in the toilet. Okay? It's a little treat. And they do that, and then they turn around and betray you. So his warning is that the witches' prophecies probably have strings attached. Okay. Now, Banquo turns over and talks to these guys, and Macbeth has an aside to the audience. When it has that dash there on the third line, you turn back and talk to them, then you come back to the audience.
Alright. Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success? Commencing in a truth, I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Okay.
Yep.
Remember how this scene started with Macbeth saying a famous line?
Hear ye, hear ye.
It was about the day. He uses a contradiction.
Oh, it's foul and fair.
Foul and fair. He says, so
Like
foul
that
and
better.
fair a day I have not seen. And now, at the beginning of this aside, he says, two truths are told of the imperial theme. Okay, what are the two truths?
Supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good.
Okay, so is the prophecy cannot be ill, cannot be good. Okay, what are, it's like a pro and con chart. What good things?
Hey,
Becoming king.
Okay. Turns out they promised me.
If you have stuff in the locker room that needs put away or taken out of the locker room for wrestling meet today.
Not right now. If we're in the waiting room, we have to take our stuff out.
Okay.
If we're in the waiting room.
So it says, why have they given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? So a promise of success, a reference to what? What has he just been awarded?
The Thane of
Thane of Cawdor. So if it's bad, why did something good come out of it? But what is the bad?
Of becoming the Thane.
Or what?
Okay, if it's, he
previous
says,
to what
if
happened.
good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs?
Is it because the previous king committed treason?
Okay, no. Okay, he's using a contradiction here, that's why it's hard to understand. He says, if it's bad, why did something good happen? So the alternate would be, if it's good,
Something
bad.
something bad. What's the bad thing that would have to happen?
The king's gonna have to
The
The
die.
king would have to
Sons.
die. And his
Two
sons.
sons.
Yeah.
And so, the image of being king looks good. But the reality of that coming true
Bad.
is bad. You're confused?
I'm confused.
Okay, about what?
Okay, so so he's contradicting something good is gonna happen, or it's good, but something bad is gonna happen.
Yes.
And the bad is gonna happen is him dying if he becomes
Not
king.
him.
No, the king.
The king will have to die for him to become king.
Yeah.
So he is
And
safe.
For something good to happen, something bad
Two
to happen.
sons.
He's not the king. He's
Yes,
like,
he's the Thane of
he's the
Cawdor.
Thane of Cawdor, and he's also the Thane of Glamis. It's just like a lord. It's just a title.
In order
Alright.
to be king.
Okay, now-
Okay?
I understand.
So, if you think of it this way, right now, okay, Duncan equals the president. Who's under the president?
Vice.
Vice president. Then who's under that?
Secretary.
The members of cabinet. Actually, the third in command is actually the Speaker of the House, right? Okay, so his two sons, the oldest is the vice president. The second is the Speaker of the House, right? But there's a whole chain of command. If those people all die, then who's next? Secretary of Defense or Homeland, one of those protection like guys is next. That's where Macbeth is. So he's a very high-ranking official, but the chances of him being king are very slim. However, the carrot has been dangled in front of him. So do you think he ever thought about being king before this?
No.
Probably not really. As a very far off contingency plan, maybe. But now, because of the prophecy, he is considering it. And with the good, there is bad, and with the bad, there is good. Okay? So it's a massive contradictions. That's human life, okay? So, something good happens to you, there may be a negative consequence. Maybe the negative consequence doesn't affect you, but someone is getting the negative, right? So, you become you win the presidential election. The negative is
Now you're president.
someone lost.
Oh.
It might not affect you, but there was still a negative, right?
That's a good thing.
Something good happens to you, or something bad happens to you. Your mom grounds you because you broke something of hers. The good thing is,
You won't do it again.
you'll learn, or your brother who actually did it but threw you under the bus, he's not in trouble.
And he gets
So
dessert.
that's the good thing.
And
It
he
doesn't
gets dessert.
necessarily-
Or he gets to eat supper tonight.
Okay, so it's like the laws of motion. Okay, now back to Banquo.
Look how our partners wrapped.
Okay, so Angus, Ross, and Banquo are watching Macbeth like he's like staring off into La La Land. They don't see him talking. We hear him talking, they don't. Okay.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors came upon him like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we say upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
We're glad.
Till then enough, come friends.
Okay, so what decision does Macbeth make?
And he's gonna try being king.
No, he wants to be king.
We'll figure it out with them.
Well, there's new honors.
Something about a visit.
They're
On
going
your
to king.
leisure.
Before that,
No.
He's gonna kill.
what does he say in regards to being king?
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me?
If chance will have me, then chance
Will crown
will
me.
crown me. Meaning, he is going to go with the flow. He is not going to do anything. He's just going to wait. And if fate crowns him, then so be it. And if not, then so be it. Now, where are they all headed?
To the king.
To see the king. And he and Banquo make a plan for what? What will Banquo and Macbeth do?
Kill him.
Upon your leisure.
Warn the king.
No. What do they say?
We're gonna go have a heart to heart.
Okay, later, sometime when they're alone, they will
Talk it out.
have a talk. But right now, let's just go.